Okay, I've not done one of these videos for a very long time. I've been doing videos for my other YouTube page, Authentic Day Blog. This is about spiritual shaming or shaming in the spiritual community. Okay. Now, I did follow the law of attraction by Abraham Hicks for a long time, after seeing The Secret and then getting to know Abraham through various things. And I do subscribe to the whole positive energy thing, bringing good things into your life. Absolutely, I get that, But often people oversimplify this and they shame people with mental health issues and conditions. Okay. Now, I've struggled with my mental health all my life. Okay. There are things I didn't share with people, with anyone, until recently this year. Okay. Now, I grew up in the care system. Okay. And as far as I was aware, I was neglected. Okay, which neglect on its own will cause issues, especially before the age of 5, when your brain's being formed, okay, and your personality and everything is being formed, okay? These are facts, okay? Science, facts. These are, this is biology, this is the human makeup, right? Now, I decided to write a book about growing up in care, about being gay, about a whole load of things. And in my care records, I stumbled on 3 sheets of paper that indicate I was severely and sadistically abused as well by my mum. Okay, so you link the abuse and the neglect together, and the fact that I went into the care system 3 times before the age of 5. And on one of those occasions, the day I'm going into the nursery for 3 months, my mum is chastising me because I can't identify colours. Okay, so my 3-year-old self would have made meaning from that. And that meaning is, I can't remember the colours. I've been taken away from mummy because I'm bad. Mummy does hurt me sometimes. She hits me and beats me, doesn't feed me, keeps me locked in my bedroom. I'm bad. I'm a bad little boy. I go into the foster placement, where they treat me with love and kindness, as you would any 3-year-old child. I'm being good, and I go back to mum. And the cycle starts, and this happens 3 times before the age of 5. Now, on one occasion, and this is in front of the social worker, I've been sent to my room while she talks with the social worker. I start crying, because I'm scared or whatever, She comes up and hits me 17 times. My social worker notes this was a regular occurrence. Okay, so I find it very fucking hard to trust people. Okay, I find it really fucking hard, and I feel people are out to get me, they're out to hurt me, they're out to do things to me, I never feel whatever I do is never, ever, 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 ever good enough. In one of my previous jobs where I facilitated training courses around LGBT awareness, I would regularly get a 4.8 out of 5 for my facilitation skills and my knowledge and stuff like that. I got 4.4 out of 5 once, and I went into my manager and said I should resign from my job, and I apologised for getting such a low score. You know, and she said to me, "Get a fucking grip, Jacob. You know, most people would be overjoyed with 4.4. You get 4.5, you get 4.7, 4.8, 4.9 all the time." Okay, I've ended friendships over little things because I felt threatened. My sense of self was felt threatened, and I've been completely paranoid about stuff, and I found it really hard to love myself, and I have tried everything. Before people comment and make fucking recommendations, I have tried everything. I mean, fucking everything. I can meditate and do affirmations 16, 20 hours a fucking day, you know? I have. Now, reading about the abuse, which I do not remember, I've no conscious memory of it whatsoever. And yes, I've forgiven my mum for it. And yes, I've understood why she did it. She had a number put done on her. So not only have I forgiven her, I've understood why she did it. So on a spiritual level, I've done all I can do to heal that and acknowledge my mum's pain within that as well, you know? And yet I find it really fucking hard to love myself. Really, really hard to love myself. My friendships and relationships are all challenged. I'm extremely socially isolated. You know, I have body dysmorphia because like I do that, and I think my muscles aren't big enough. You know, so that whole period before I was 5 programmed me, you know, deeply programmed me, and I try everything I can to transcend it and improve and get better and really try and love myself and be grateful for the little things in my life and stuff like that. Yeah, but when I see people post constantly on spiritual sites and spiritual pages about oh, just love yourself, like it's really fucking easy to do that. And I'll just be grateful and just do this and just do that and raise your vibration and don't be low vibration this and don't be low vibration that. That is extremely shaming to people. I'm not the only person that's going through this. There's lots of people like me, you know, and to be that way is extremely shaming towards people with mental health, you know. You belittle them and you shame them quite badly, and they're already feeling bad about themselves, and you add more shame to that because they're not able to be positive and they're not able to be grateful, they're not able to just, you know, smile and be happy all the time, you know. And this often comes from a place of privilege. This often comes from privileged, predominantly white females in married relationships where they have security of a husband, the security of a partner, providing an income for them, children, family around them, and all of this, you know, so it comes from a place of privileged. There's no empathy or compassion or understanding. To them it's really simple. Well, of course it is simple because relative to people like me, you have a really fucking privileged life, okay? And, you know, I'm not blaming you at all, you know, but you really, the spiritual community really needs to evolve from this idea of it's easy for everybody just to be positive or just to be happy or just to, you know, do all these things, because it's not easy for some people. You know, I know from my own experience, I've exhausted myself, you know, trying to be happy and love myself and treat myself well and all that, you know. And, you know, I've had counselling, cognitive behaviour therapy, even cognitive behaviour therapy doesn't work on me because my mind is so fucking clever. You know, I'll give you an example. It was Christmas Day yesterday. It was the 8th Christmas in a row I spent on my own. I didn't get any Christmas presents, which is not important, you know. And I did my best to embrace the situation, you know, and just treat it as a normal day. But still, my monkey mind came in and said to me, well, Jacob, you know, people who've been to prison for murder and rape and really violent, bad crimes, who are out of prison now, they're with their families, they're getting Christmas presents, they're not on their own, you're on your own. What sort of arsehole are you, Jacob, to be on your own on Christmas Day when, you know, murderers and rapists and child killers and violent criminals and drug dealers and people like that have people around them, you know? That's a real example of how the mind works in people with, like me, with complex post-traumatic stress disorder or a personality disorder or stuff like that. And to just tell people to be positive and be grateful and everything will get better is bullshit, and it is a disservice to those individuals. You know, you need to be compassionate and have empathy, you know, and to kind of acknowledge where that person is and acknowledge how they're feeling, you know, in order to support them to make the steps to get out of their situation, because no one wants to be in that situation. Do you think I want to spend hours on my sofa thinking, what the fuck am I here for? What's my purpose? Why am I here? What am I doing to contribute to the world? You know, what a waste of space I must be. You know, do you think I want to feel those things? Do you think I want to think those things? Do you? Well, I don't. Of course I don't. You know? And other people don't as well. So this mental health shaming in the spiritual community really has to stop. You know, it is... I will say this, you're not very spiritual, really. You know, because Jesus wouldn't do that. Gandhi wouldn't do that. Other spiritual masters, they wouldn't do that. They would not do that. They would not do that. Jesus would sit there. If he was here now, he would sit there and he'd hold my hand. As simple as that, you know? And he would tell me, I'm a good person. He wouldn't shame me by saying, you know, you're a bad person because you're not being grateful and you're not having a positive attitude, you know? So, please stop with it. Find a different way of communicating the message in a more loving way, in a more empathetic way, in a more compassionate way, in a more understanding way, in a more caring way. Because yeah, for you, it might be fucking easy. Because your life hasn't been as difficult or as challenging in any way, shape or form as many of these people's lives have been. It's simple as that, really, you know. Step outside your privilege, step outside your emotional privilege, step outside your privilege of good mental health, your privilege of having a partner or a family around you. You know, because some of us, we don't. Okay? Thank you.